Hello students, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Welcome back to the class of Ravi sir, the easiest and finest way to learn the concepts of mathematics from standard 9 to 12. Students, in our today video lesson of standard 9th maths chapter 8 quadrilaterals, we are going to learn about quadrilaterals and its concept. Students, before starting today video lesson, if you are new to this channel, just subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So first of all, quadrilateral. Quadrilateral just means four sides. What is the mean of quadrilateral? Mean of quadrilateral have four sides. Quad means four, lateral means side. A quadrilateral has four sides. Understood, students? It is two dimensional, means it can be embedded on a flat surface, a flat shape. Closed, the line join up and straight sides, right students? So what are the properties of quadrilateral? A quadrilateral has four sides, means four edges, four vertices, means corners. Interior angles add to 360 degree. Here is when the example is given. Sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Students, here are few examples of quadrilateral: kites, trapezoids, parallelogram, in parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle and square. Right students, these are what types of quadrilateral. Now first of all, discussing about types of quadrilateral. Parallelogram. In parallelogram, opposite sides equal in length. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal measure. In what? Parallelogram. In rectangle, all angles have measure 90 degree. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are equal in length. Next is square. All sides having equal length. All angles have measure 90 degree. Opposite sides are parallel. In rhombus, opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal in measure. All sides have equal length. Diagonals intersect at right angle. In trapezoids, the trapezium has one pair of opposite parallel sides, has one pair of opposite sides that are not parallel. Isosceles trapezoids has one pair of parallel sides. Pair of non-parallel sides are equal in length. Diagonals are equal in length. Right students, these are basic properties of types of quadrilateral. Students, in very shortcut way we can learn all these properties of types of quadrilateral. In parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, diagonals bisect each other, right? Diagonals are not congruent, diagonals are not perpendicular. Four sides, four right, there are not four right angles. Four congruent sides, not four congruent sides, right? So in blanked box we can put cross over here, right? In rectangle, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals congruent, and four right angle. And in blank box we can put cross, means diagonals are not perpendicular and there are not four congruent sides. Similarly, in rhombus, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals are not congruent. In blank box we can write not congruent, right? Diagonals are perpendicular in rhombus and four congruent side in rhombus. And in square, all the checklists are available. Opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals are congruent, diagonals are perpendicular for right angles, for congruent sides. Similarly, in trapezium, only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. In isosceles trapezium, one pair of opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are congruent in only one pair. In kites, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Right students, in this checklist we can memorize the properties of types of quadrilateral. Students, let us see how we can represent in mathematically the properties of quadrilateral, in which we are considering about parallelogram. In parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other. So in very first, here we can see that opposite angles are congruent, means angle E is congruent to angle G and angle H congruent to angle F, and opposite angle are congruent, right? In second figure, consecutive angles are supplementary, means angle E plus angle F 180, angle F plus angle G 180, angle G plus angle H 180, and angle H plus angle is 180. Opposite sides are parallel, means side EH parallel to FG and EF parallel to HG. Opposite sides are congruent, opposite side EH congruent to FG and EF congruent to GH. Diagonals bisect each other, means HD is congruent to DF and ED congruent to DZ. In this way, students, you can mathematically you can represent the properties of square, rectangle, rhombus, kites and trapezium. Right student? Students, here has been few properties of quadrilateral on the basis of types of quadrilateral, and these statements can be proved. In coming video lecture, we will see the proof of these statements. First, square is rectangle, right? Sometimes you have to prove that a square is rectangle, right students? This statement can be proved. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. Third, a rectangle is a square. Sometimes it can be asked, prove that a rhombus is a square. Trapezium has opposite sides parallel. 6. A square is rhombus. A parallelogram is a rectangle. A trapezoid has legs congruent. 9. A square has opposite angles congruent. 10. A parallelogram has a congruent diagonals. 11. A rectangle has a perpendicular diagonals. 12. Rhombus is a rectangle. 13. Parallelogram is a quadrilateral. 14. A parallelogram has a diagonals that bisect each other. 15. A rectangle is a rhombus. 16. A rhombus has congruent diagonals. 17. A parallelogram has diagonals that bisect angles. 18. The diagonals of a rhombus are congruent. Students, these are the statements. These statements can be proved using the properties of quadrilateral. Right students, in coming video lecture we will see the proof of all these statements. Okay students, let us see some mathematical presentation of statements of quadrilateral. A diagonal of a parallelogram divide it into two congruent triangle. Right? What is? First, a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it to two congruent triangle. So here in the figure you can see that ABCD is a parallelogram, S is a diagonal. It means then we can prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. Second statement, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel. In parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel. So in parallelogram ABCD, opposite side AB and CD are parallel, AD and BC are parallel, and AB is equal to CD So AD is equal to BC. Third, if each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, then it is a parallelogram, right? So mathematically we can represent these things. If AB is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC, and AB is equal to CD, AD is equal to BC, then we can prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, here is the fourth statement. A parallelogram's opposite angles are equal. In parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So students, here you can see that in parallelogram ABCD, angle A is equal to angle C and angle B is equal to angle D. Fifth, if in a quadrilateral each pair of opposite angles is equal, then it is a parallelogram. So mathematically we can write these things. Angle, if in quadrilateral ABCD, angle A is equal to angle C, angle B is equal to angle D, then ABCD is a parallelogram. 6. The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. So consider the parallelogram ABCD. Diagonals OA and OC, they bisect each other. It means OB is equal to OD. 7 number, if the diagonals of quadrilateral bisect each other, then it is a parallelogram. What? If the diagonals of quadrilateral bisect each other, then it is a parallelogram. Here are the diagonals. OA and OC are the diagonals and OB, OD are the pair of diagonals. Then ABCD is a parallelogram. Now the next statement, the line segment joining the midpoint of two sides of triangle is parallel to the third side, right? The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of triangle is parallel to third side. Here students, we can see that here E and F are midpoint. E and F are midpoint of AB and AC. Then we can say that EF is parallel to BC. Next, the line drawn through the midpoint of one side of triangle parallel to another side bisect the third side. If E is the midpoint of AB and EF is parallel to BC, then AF is equal to FC. F is the midpoint of AC. Okay students, here we are completing today's video lesson. I hope you have understood. For more video lesson of this chapter, keep watching your channel Ravi Sarji Maths. Thank you students. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Meet you once again.